Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now today what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this JDiction epoxy resin. Now this is just a 4-hour demolding time. So it's a class as a quick setting resin. It's still part A and part B, and you do the same amount of this to the same amount of this. So 100 mils of part A and 100 mils of part B. Now you can demold it, but it'll still take between 8 and 10 hours to fully cure. Now if the sound sounds slightly different, it's because I'm actually in my sister Sandra's house and I'm in a completely different area from where I normally do my work. Now this is a crochet piece that I made. This is made with 100% cotton and it's performance yarn that I've used. That's the name of the company. So this is where I'll be moulding it. I'll be moulding it over this. Now this piece, when I made it, I started with a chain of 3 and then 15 stitches into a magic ring. Then I put 1 puff stitch, 1 chain, skipped a stitch, 1 puff stitch, skipped a chain, puff stitch all the way around, and then I put 2 UK double crochets, that's single crochets if you're in the USA, into each stitch, and I just made up my rounds as I went, any stitch that I want, between puff stitches, double crochets, a few treble crochets, and it came out like this. Or what else you can do is you can look at this pretty piece. I bought this. This is a really pretty crochet piece that I bought in a charity shop. It's made with very thin string, like a cotton, but it's like that really thin string. And you could use something like this. There's lots of vintage crochet available in a lot of charity shops if you look for it. Usually it's sold over where they sell towels and blankets and things. So you could use maybe a piece you might have that your granny had, or your great-grandmother, or a piece that you've just bought, or like me, a piece that you've made. So I'll pop that aside. I'm going to use 100 mils of the A and 100 mils of the B to start off with. I'll put my plate out of the way. I've got just a black plastic bag. This is just a black bin bag, just to catch any drips that might appear. Now when I do my piece, I'm just going to pour half of the resin over it. I'm going to squidge it all in, and then I'm going to turn it and pour the other half over it and squidge it all in, just to make sure that there's resin in this cotton. I think this cotton is going to work better than the acrylic that I use, because sometimes when the resin sets, it heats up, and I'm really sure that it actually melted some of the acrylic yarn that I had in my coaster that I made on another video. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to pour out my resin, 100 mils of each, and then I'm going to pour over the top. So I've got my resin mixed. It doesn't matter about air bubbles if I've got any air bubbles in it. Now this is a 4-hour demolding. Well, I'm not going to demold it, so I'm just going to leave it overnight over my bowl. My bowl is covered in cling film. That's just, you can use a plastic bag as long as it doesn't have any holes in it. That's to stop it from sticking to the glass. So pop that back. Now this has got excellent UV protection. You can put resin, once it's cured, outside as well. It's crystal clear, it's a high gloss, odourless, non-flammable, so I can't set it on fire. And it's BPA free, that means it's free of any toxins and things. So I'm going to pop that aside. Now I've got my bag doubled up. I'll move my little rag that I've got. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drizzle this over my project. I'll move my camera over the top of it, so hopefully you can see it a little bit better. So what I'm going to do at first, I'm just going to drizzle this over. I'm going to drizzle half of it. Then I've got my gloves on and I'm going to just mash it in. I'll just squeeze it about. So it doesn't matter if the resin goes on the plastic. Hopefully it won't move around too much. Drizzle this around, and this is going to set hard. Now, I've tried this with Mod Podge, I've tried it with PVA glue. If the PVA glue or the Mod Podge ones, when you do this, if it gets damp, the thing about it is, it goes soft again. But with this, it'll stay hard, and after 21 days, it'll be fully cured. And I can even put it outside. So I've got half of my resin put in there, and I'm just going to mush it in. Might just have to hold my plastic with the other hand. Just mop up the resin. Just mop it up into my piece. Now it will be sticky, but that's what the plastic's there for. And my gloves. Nice and messy as well. Now I've turned it over, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the rest in. I'm just going to drizzle the rest on there. And I'm just going to mush in this resin into the yarn. Now what I found about the cotton is, the reason I feel it does it better with cotton is it doesn't go all strands the way it does with acrylic yarn. Acrylic yarn seems to go a bit frilly and fuzzy. I'll just pop that in. I'll keep a little bit just for the bottom once I put it over my plate. I will put a nice clean piece of the plastic down in case it drips. I'm just going to gently just make sure it gets squidged in to the fibres. So all I'm going to do is just fiddle with this. So I've got it nice and pleated the way I want. Pull that down around that bowl. Pull all these edges down. It will have a little bit of give that you can stretch it a little bit. And I'm using the quick cure, but you don't have to. You can use the regular if you want. And I will just, instead of 4 hours, I'm going to leave it overnight. Because it is a bowl and it's not in a mould. So what I did was listen to this. Now, when you use normal resin and you do something like this, even a day later when you take it off, there's some pliability in it. When you take it off, it might still want to sort of go flat. But this 4-hour resin, I got this It's a JDiction. I'm telling you, I love this stuff. I love this stuff. It says you can demold it in 4 hours and you can leave it for 8 to 10 hours. Well, mine's not in a mould. I've left mine overnight and listen to that. I'm going to take it off. I'll need to lift my bowl up. I can get it off there. Oops, watch, I don't have a glass. Pull all of that out. Do you know, I think I just might be able to pull it off the glass bowl. I'll turn it this way. So I'm going to take the bowl off and I'll put that over there out of the way. Now look at this. It's already coming away from the end. I'll take these little pieces off. It's stuck in a couple of places, but that'll just come out. Look at that. Look at my bowl. Oh, it's like a little hat. I've made this beautiful. But look at this, it's beautiful. Now it is, because it's a kind of cotton, there's a little springiness to it. But my goodness. Can you hear that? Hang on. Find something. Oh, I like this. Look at that. You can put some fruit in it, put some eggs in it, keep it for eggs, put a plant in there, put a bowl, and then put a plant in, and you'll have this beautiful little plant. Look at that. Do you know something? You could even just attach it to the wall as a piece of wall art. But I am so proud of this. Look at this. I'm so pleased it's worked. And it gives new dimension to your crochet. I mean, even I'm hoping like in about 20 or 30 years, if I die and then this is in the house, then my kids could keep this. There's 1 or 2 little pieces of plastic. Do you know, and it's functional. It won't be just like bound in a drawer and then put in the bin. I mean, it would look nice on the wall as well. Look at that. You know, I'm up here at my sister Sandra's. I wonder how long she would take before she noticed if I put that on the wall. If I put a little pin in through that hole and put it on her wall, see how long it takes her to notice it. Do you know, I love it. Even if it was in a bowl that was even wider, there's not that much pliability to it. I just can't believe how hard it is. My black bag's fine, that worked well, but a great way to make things like this with your macrame, with your crochet, with your knitting. Oh, a little baby jumper. Do you know when you get your first little baby booties, you could dip them in that and then leave them to dry and then set them in a photo frame and they'll last forever. Absolutely forever. Look at that. I love it. I'm going to send a picture of this and the link to this video to JDiction's just to show them what I did with it. It's absolutely amazing. I love it. Give it a try. Get your crochet hook out. Even if you don't do resin art all the time, if you've got a piece and you want to keep your own crochet, go on to the link and get yourself you don't need to get a big bottle like this. Even get the smaller bottle. Mix the 2 in equal parts together and do what I did. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need anything fancy at all, and you can preserve your crochet treasures or your knitting treasures. Anything that you've made with yarn. Look at that. Absolutely amazing. A big thank you to JDiction for asking me if I wanted to try this. I love it, especially with my crochet. Look, it kept all those frills. All those frills are all right in. They're all brilliant. Absolutely amazing. So please subscribe to the channel. It's completely free to subscribe to the channel. Just click on that subscribe button, and if you click on the bell icon, YouTube will tell you when I put up another tutorial. Whether it's crochet, whether it's craft, it'll let you know. So until the next time, happy crafting, and I'll see you all again soon.